Buckle up, Internet, because Buckingham Palace just accidentally triggered a royal nuclear option, and the fallout is absolutely messy. What if I told you that the entire years-long tax-funded security drama keeping Prince Harry's kids away from the UK was actually a massive cover story? Think about it. Just days before Archie and Lilibet were scheduled to land in London for the Invictus countdown, their 11th-hour security detail gets completely denied. Coincidence? Please. Anonymous palace insiders whisper that King Charles just dropped an absolute bombshell during a locked-door Ravex security briefing. An explosive revelation about his youngest grandchildren's real titles, their official inheritance, and a hidden document that could permanently alter the line of succession. Are we looking at the ultimate grandfatherly snub, or has the king secretly known something about the California royals that we are only just finding out? The mainstream media wants you to believe it's all just bureaucratic red tape about British police guards. But we've dug beneath the surface, and what we found will fundamentally shatter everything you thought you knew about the royal family feud. Drop a comment right now. Do you think the king went too far this time? Stay tuned, because we are breaking down the absolute truth they tried to block from the evening news. You can check out further commentary and breakdown of this ongoing royal row in this, which details the public debate surrounding the Sussex family's UK travel restrictions and the intense scrutiny around their taxpayer-funded security demands. Visual. Fast-paced transition. Zoom in on a highly dramatic stylized image of Buckingham Palace with a giant, glowing top-secret stamp over the gates. The music shifts to a low, driving, investigative bassline. Let us be completely honest with ourselves. You do not use your own children as chess pieces on a global chessboard to force a sovereign nation to pay for your billionaire lifestyle. It is wrong, it is calculated, and quite frankly, it is deeply disturbing to watch. But if you have been paying close attention to the absolute circus surrounding the Duke and Duchess of California over the last few weeks, you know that logic went out the window a very long time ago. The royal family has finally reached its absolute breaking point, and the master plan being cooked up behind the closed gates of Montecito has officially imploded under the weight of its own audacity. What we are witnessing right now is the definitive unmasking of a broken man. Prince Harry is a broken man. Broken in a massive public way. And the world is forced to watch him act like a spoiled brat on the international stage while his own innocent children pay the ultimate price. Think about the sheer absurdity of the narrative we are being fed by the Hollywood public relations machine. Seeing your own grandchildren should be the most natural thing in the world. It should be a moment of quiet warmth, a private family embrace away from the cameras. There should not be negotiations around it. There should not be legal ultimatums, public conditions, or weaponized media briefings designed to corner an ailing monarch. Yet here we are, and the shocking reality has finally come to light. This is no longer just a standard legal dispute over high-level security or home office logistics for a summer trip to Scotland. No, this is a story about a grandfather, a king, and a silent confession sitting right at the absolute heart of the royal family. A confession written all over the dramatic developments of recent weeks for anyone with the eyes to see it. King Charles, a man fighting for his life and his historic legacy at the same time, would give almost anything to look his 7-year-old grandson, Prince Archie, and his 5-year-old granddaughter, Princess Lilibet, in the eyes and simply tell them that he is their grandfather, that he is here, and that he loves them. But they are not being allowed to hear those words, and they are not being allowed to experience that love. These innocent children are being completely isolated from their cousins, their heritage, and their grandfather. And the blame sits squarely on the shoulders of Harry and Meghan. They need to get a grip. It is bad. It is really truly bad because this entire toxic negotiation is playing out under the glare of the international media, and the world is watching every single petty, calculated move. Underneath all the palace politics, this hits differently because it is so painfully human. Time is slipping away, choices are being made that can never be taken back, and the clock is loudly ticking against a grandfather who cannot reach his own bloodline. To fully comprehend the sheer gravity of why this scandal has just reached a boiling point, you have to look closely at the current reality. King Charles is not a young man sitting comfortably on his throne with decades of negotiation room ahead of him. He is a monarch who has faced his own mortality with incredible dignity and courage, continuing his state duties while quietly fighting a major health crisis behind closed doors. Yet, throughout this entire painful battle, his younger son's children have been kept thousands of miles away at an artificial distance. Archie was barely a baby when the Sussexes left the country, and Lilibet has visited the United Kingdom exactly once. They are growing up in California with a relationship to their English heritage that is completely abstract. The king is just a name to them, maybe a face on a screen, a man their parents talk about in carefully chosen media-trained words. They do not know the sound of his laugh. They do not know what it feels like to walk with him through the historic hills of Balmoral. And every single week that passes without that connection is a week those children can never get back. So what exactly triggered the massive, explosive revelation that has left royal fans reeling? The timing is absolutely critical here. Prince Harry's return to the United Kingdom for the high-profile Invictus Games countdown event had been locked into the calendar, generating intense media speculation. But what remained completely unresolved, and wrapped in intense controversy, was whether Archie and Lilibet would actually step foot on British soil. The reason for this standoff is as staggering as it is deliberate. Prince Harry has been publicly demanding that the British government provide taxpayer-funded, state-sanctioned armed security for his family during any UK visit. He isn't doing this through quiet diplomatic channels or private family discussions kept away from cameras. Instead, he has launched a calculated media blitz, utilizing major American publications to issue public ultimatums directly to the Crown. The language leaked to the press by anonymous Sussex insiders is extraordinary if you read it with an investigative mind. Outlets close to the couple stress that Harry would absolutely love to bring Meghan and the children back to his homeland, but that plans cannot be finalized because security is not yet fully resolved. It is a transparent, highly strategic blame game. Harry is sending a clear, weaponized message to the public. If anything happens to his family, or if the children do not see their grandfather before it is too late, it is the fault of the British establishment and the cold-hearted palace administration. But seasoned royal watchers see right through the smoke and mirrors. This isn't the behavior of a son desperate for a family reunion. This is the behavior of a man using his own children as a public shield and strategic leverage to force a legal victory over the British Home Office. And then comes the specific detail leaked in those briefings that stops you completely cold. The reports explicitly state that Harry believes his father, the king, could simply overrule the government on this security issue. Let that sink in for a moment. Harry is publicly demanding that his father step into a massive constitutional crisis, bypassing the laws and regulations of the British government, just to grant his younger son a special exception. It is a stunning display of absolute entitlement, and a complete lack of understanding regarding how a constitutional monarchy actually functions. If the king refuses to interfere, Harry gets to shame him publicly in the American press. If the king agrees, the integrity of the monarchy is permanently compromised. It is a win-win trap designed by the Sussex camp, with zero good outcomes for the crown. And while this public warfare rages on, the human cost is mounting in ways that are becoming impossible to ignore. The whispers in royal circles suggest that the king feels this absence deeper than he has ever been able to say publicly. Sources close to the palace say Charles has made peace with a lot over the last few years. He has survived the bombshell Oprah interview, the endless stream of negative press briefings, the Netflix docuseries, and the raw, intimate betrayals published in the pages of Spare. But the one thing he cannot make peace with, the one thing that cuts through the stoic exterior of the monarch, is the image of those two small children growing up in a mansion in California, entirely disconnected from the family that shares their blood. That, insiders believe, is the wound that never heals. And it is against this backdrop of a grandfather's grief, a king's restraint, and a clock that keeps loudly ticking that everything happening right now has to be understood. Because what has been unfolding behind the scenes is not just a fight over security guards. It is a full-blown psychological standoff. Behind the curtain, we have to understand that Meghan Markle is the one driving these impossible demands. Multiple sources close to the situation suggest that she is the one making the logistics so incredibly complicated, difficult, and confrontational, while Harry simply falls into line, doing exactly what he is told to do. He is acting like a child who wants what he wants, when he wants it, regardless of the constitutional chaos it causes. It lets the entire world know that Harry is just trying to be complicated for the sake of maintaining a grievance. It is an emotional negotiation being played out in public through newspaper leaks and television appearances over the most fundamental question imaginable: whether two small children get to know their grandfather before time completely runs out. Every single week that passes without that connection is a tragic loss for those children. Think about what that actually means for their development. Archie and Lilibet are building a childhood out of sight, largely used as theoretical content for a global brand, while their cousins Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis are building a childhood full of royal history, family warmth, and the particular magic of royal traditions. The contrast is stark, the hypocrisy is blinding, and the public is rapidly growing tired of the endless victimhood narrative coming out of Montecito. But the real explosion happened when the king finally decided that he would no longer be a passive participant in this public blackmail scheme. According to highly placed anonymous sources, during the last high-level Ravec briefing, the king didn't just listen to the standard security updates. He dropped a bombshell that has completely shifted the power dynamic between London and California. The king has reportedly finalized an ironclad decree regarding the future of Archie and Lilibet's royal status, their inheritance, and their official place within the family archives, a revelation so profound that it changes the entire landscape of this feud. Harry thought he held all the cards by withholding the children, but the king has just demonstrated exactly why you do not play games with the British crown. The strategy from the Sussex camp has officially backfired, and the legal trap they tried to set for the royal family has closed around them instead. The strategy from the Sussex camp has officially backfired, and the legal trap they tried to set for the royal family has closed around them instead. And this is exactly where the narrative takes an even darker, more calculated turn as we dive straight into the explosive, leaked findings of what really went down behind those locked doors at Buckingham Palace. You see, the Hollywood public relations machine wants you to believe that Harry and Meghan are just two innocent, independent parents fighting against a cold, bureaucratic system. But the secret files floating around royal circles paint a completely different picture. One of absolute luxury, weaponized leaks, and an aggressive abuse of public sympathy that has left the British government completely furious. Let us look directly at the sensational intelligence that has just slipped out of the Home Office. According to anonymous high-level sources, Prince Harry's legal team didn't just ask for standard protection for their brief summer trip. They presented a demands list that reads like a Hollywood diva's rider. We are talking about 24-hour, top-tier, state-funded armed guards, motorcades with diplomatic immunity, and a permanent security clearance that would cost the British taxpayer millions of pounds every single year, all for a couple that voluntarily quit their jobs to sign multi-million-dollar entertainment contracts. The sheer financial audacity of this demand is staggering. While ordinary citizens are navigating economic hardships, the Duke and Duchess of California are demanding that the public fund their private security fortress so they can fly in on private jets, film content for their media empires, and wave to the crowds like working royals without doing any of the actual work. The reaction from the British public has been an absolute explosion of rage, and the online comment sections are literally on fire. People are asking the hard questions. Why should the public wallet protect a multi-millionaire brand that has done nothing but trash the United Kingdom on global television for the last 6 years? One imaginary but highly accurate summary of the public sentiment reads, "If Harry wants to live like a Hollywood celebrity, he needs to pay like a Hollywood celebrity." But the hypocrisy goes even deeper. Insiders have revealed that while Harry was busy telling a British judge that the UK is far too dangerous for his family to step foot in, Meghan Markle was reportedly spotted taking private security teams on luxury shopping trips across America and planning high-profile vacations without a single complaint about state-funded protection. It becomes blindingly obvious that this entire legal battle isn't about safety at all. It is about maintaining a weaponized grievance, an artificial shield to ensure they can stay in their California mansion, project an aura of permanent exile, and keep the victimhood narrative alive for corporate sponsors. But the real shockwave that has royal fans absolutely reeling is the king's brilliant counter-move. For years, the palace operated under a strict policy of never complain, never explain, quietly absorbing every single blow the Sussexes threw at them. But King Charles has reportedly realized that passive silence is no longer an option when the future of the monarchy is being used as a PR punchline. The secret briefing reveals that the king has quietly initiated a total forensic audit of the Sussexes' remaining royal ties. The explosive revelation suggests that Charles has settled a definitive decree regarding Archie and Lilibet's place in the institution. The rumor circulating within palace walls is that if Harry continues to use his children as leverage to force a constitutional showdown with the government, The king is fully prepared to execute a legal maneuver that would strip the children of their princely titles and permanently freeze their royal inheritances until they reach the age of majority and officially pledge allegiance to the crown. This is the ultimate chess move. Harry thought he could hold the grandchildren hostage to get what he wanted from the state, but the king has effectively said, if you isolate them from the family, you isolate them from the institution entirely. The shock factor of this reveal has sent shockwaves through Montecito, because it completely dismantles the Sussex's long-term commercial strategy. Let's be real. The only reason the Sussex brand carries any weight in corporate boardrooms is its direct proximity to the British throne. If Archie and Lilibet are completely removed from the official royal ledger, the California operation loses its ultimate golden goose. Meghan is reportedly in an absolute state of panic behind the scenes, realizing that the private, unscripted, uncontrolled reunion she has spent years avoiding might now be the only thing that can save their declining global standing. The psychological warfare between London and California has reached such a frantic pitch because Harry is beginning to realize the terrifying reality of his long-term choices. He is a man caught in a permanent state of mental anguish, trapped between the rigid demands of his wife's brand strategy and the heavy, aching pull of his own bloodline. Sources close to the situation suggest that Harry is deeply haunted by the memory of his mother, Princess Diana, and the tragic reality of time lost forever. He sees his father fighting a serious health crisis, he sees the golden years of his children's childhood slipping away into the sand, and he knows with absolute certainty that once King Charles passes on, the door slam he experiences from his brother, Prince William, will be permanent and irreversible. William does not forgive, he does not forget, and he has zero patience for public blackmail. The Prince of Wales has made it explicitly clear to his inner circle that Harry's behavior is not just reckless. It is a betrayal of everything their family stands for. William has completely cut his younger brother off, to the point where they do not even possess each other's contact information. When the rest of the extended family gathered recently to celebrate, Harry was left completely out in the cold, a stark and painful reminder of his new status as an absolute outsider. This deep estrangement is what makes Harry's current actions so incredibly desperate. He is a man running out of options, throwing wild legal tantrums in the media, hoping that something will finally give before the throne shifts and his path back to Britain is completely blocked by a brother who views him with nothing but cold contempt. And while this giant ego battle plays out on the world stage, the true tragedy continues to be written in the quiet isolation of two small children in California. Archie and Lilibet are being raised in an environment where their family heritage is treated like a hostile entity, a set of public conditions, a legal argument to be parsed by high-priced attorneys. They are being systematically denied the warmth of a grandfather who adores them, the companionship of cousins who share their blood, and the rich, magical history of a country that is half of who they are. The contrast between their isolated lives in Montecito and the vibrant, connected, grounded upbringing of Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis is absolute. Harry and Meghan claim they are protecting their children's privacy, but the world is rapidly realizing that they are actually protecting their own pride, using two innocent lives as pieces in a media game that has nothing to do with their well-being. The king's explosive reveal has completely flipped the script, transforming a private family dispute into an absolute constitutional standoff that has left the international media completely stunned. The palace's studied silence has turned into a powerful vacuum, drawing the public to look past the Sussex's polished PR statements and see the raw, cynical ambition underneath. The infrastructure for peace has always been on the table. A private, secure, untelevised visit to the hills of Balmoral where a grandfather could simply hold his grandchildren away from the glare of the world. But because that private route offers zero commercial value, zero headlines, and zero public vindication for the Sussex narrative, it remains completely ignored by the California camp. The legal trap that Harry tried to set for his father has officially closed around his own ankles, leaving him exposed on the global stage as a man who has traded his family, his duty, and his essential character for a fleeting mirage of Hollywood independence that is crumbling more and more with every single passing day. Leaving him exposed on the global stage as a man who has traded his family, his duty, and his essential character for a fleeting mirage of Hollywood independence that is crumbling more and more with every single passing day. And this brings us directly into the final absolute endgame of this multi-year standoff. The devastating fallout, the looming legal collapses, and the permanent consequences that are about to alter the landscape of the British monarchy forever. What we are looking at right now is not just a temporary rough patch in a family feud. We are witnessing the complete and total demolition of the Sussex strategy, as government entities, palace officials, and the international public all converge to deliver a final, crushing verdict. Let us look at the impending legal and financial avalanche that is currently heading straight for Montecito. Behind the scenes in Whitehall, high-level government investigators and constitutional lawyers have reportedly begun a quiet but highly rigorous review of the Duke and Duchess's corporate arrangements and their continued use of state-recognized titles for commercial gain. For years, Parliament has quietly debated the Titles Deprivation Act, but out of respect for an aging queen and a transitioning king, the nuclear option was always kept on the back burner. Not anymore. The calculated audacity of Harry's relentless public lawsuits against the Home Office, combined with this latest weaponized briefing over his children's security, has fundamentally exhausted the patience of British lawmakers. Rumors are swirling through the corridors of Westminster that a bipartisan coalition of politicians is preparing an official parliamentary probe into whether a prince living abroad, actively attacking state institutions, and refusing to fulfill a single public duty can legally retain his place in the line of succession. The financial implications of this cross-continental backlash are absolutely catastrophic for the Sussex Empire. The entire economic foundation of their California operation depends entirely on their proximity to the crown. Netflix deals, publishing contracts, and high-end corporate speaking gigs do not exist because the corporate world is deeply invested in their personal philosophies. They exist because companies want to buy a piece of the ultimate royal mystique. But as the king's explosive decree becomes reality, and as Archie and Lilibet are systematically distanced from the official Shahi ledger, the corporate world is rapidly backing away. High-level Hollywood insiders whisper that major entertainment executives are already drafting exit clauses and refusing to renew expiring contracts, recognizing that the Sussex brand has transitioned from a high-value asset into a toxic liability. The public has grown profoundly weary of the permanent grievance loop, and the numbers reflect it. Ratings are cratering, book sales have dried up, and the global audience is actively tuning out. But the true, unyielding iron wall that Harry is about to crash into is the upcoming reign of his brother. While King Charles has managed this heartbreaking situation with the profound patience of a loving father, Prince William is looking at the situation through the cold, clear lens of state survival. William has observed the weaponized leaks, the deeply personal betrayals in Spare, and the systematic commercialization of family pain, and he has made a definitive silent vow. When he ascends the throne, the exile will become permanent. There will be no diplomatic channels, no theoretical security negotiations, and absolutely no public compromises. William understands that a monarchy cannot survive if it allows its private sanctuary to be turned into a continuous stream of entertainment content for foreign corporations. The window for Harry to bring his children to see their grandfather, to let Archie and Lilibet build a genuine human connection with the king before it is too late, is not just narrowing, it is about to slam shut with a definitive historical finality. What makes this entire saga so profoundly uncomfortable to witness is the total collapse of the narrative that Harry and Meghan spent years carefully constructing. They presented themselves to the world as progressive heroes who conquered a rigid, outdated system to build a life of pure independence and emotional healing. Yet, when you strip away the polished public relations spin, the high-priced legal filings, and the breathless American newspaper headlines, the reality left standing on the stage is painfully simple and deeply tragic. It is the story of a father who keeps choosing the public arena over the private moment. It is the story of a couple so locked into a permanent, managed conflict with the British establishment that they are willing to sacrifice their own children's family heritage just to maintain a strategic position